How's it going, guys? Coach Paul here. Hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to get on and promote our wide receiver off-season football training coming up here on November 6th. So I just wanted to get on and give a complete description because I'm sure people have questions or maybe wondering why should I do this program. Well, there's multiple reasons because we always say results are in the pudding, numbers don't lie, people do, results at the end of the day, and what athletes get out of our program speaks more volume than anything else. So if you look at one wide receiver in mind would be Ryan Chang out of Mililani High School. We started training him in these programs, both in the strength phase, the game speed phase, and the wide receiver skills phase from when he was in the 7th or 8th grade. And we saw outstanding progression each year. I mean, he wasn't even running, in the fours in the 40-yard dash. He was somewhere in the 5.1 range, his freshman season or going into his freshman season. And just put it this way, by the time he was a senior in high school, we got him running a 4.4 40-yard dash, and in college he did the same thing. So, um, along with him, we had the Gatorade Player of the Year out of Campbell High School, Titus Mokiao Atimalala. And we were blessed to train him after his junior season, going into his senior season. And then, here we are today from UCF to UCLA. So um, those type of athletes speak high volume into what this program would do for you. And I can tell you, even at the stage of where Titus was when he came to us later in his years, I mean, the kid was a baller, elite athlete already coming in, but there was so many things that we needed to work on, especially on his strength phase side. He's never did any training with any trainer before prior to that. So just fine tuning everything even at that level of an athlete is so important. And when I talk about fine tuning, I mean we're also talking about the biggest thing is when we work with NFL football players, for example, any professional player, our biggest job as a trainer is to make sure that they do not get injured. This is what they get paid for. So we have to make sure that number one, they do not get injured. We want to prevent injury during training and throughout the season as much as possible. So the approach is no different for any level here at Phase One, no matter if you're a beginner 5-year-old all the way to a professional athlete. So that's first and foremost is we do a lot of mobility work, a lot of stretching, a lot of we hone in on recovery and things of that nature to prevent injury. Secondly, we do the proper strength training program. In order for them, you got to think about this. If we're starting on November 6th, that's about an 8-month period of programming and progressing in phases, which already stood the test of time here at Phase One for the past several years. You have to have the right program. So, what I'm saying is, a lot of you will take incentive and go train on your own. Some of you are older, where you're juniors or seniors in high school. You want to meet your friends at the local gym, commercial gym, and you guys are going to go in there and do what you do. Rather, if you're getting it off of video or making it up as you go, which is great. But the big but is, again, let's go back. It's an 8-month period for some of you who don't play other sports where you have to be able to come up with a program for that 8 months that will make you progress the right way in order to stop it, not get injured, overwork, and make sure you're getting progression. So that same goes for if you don't choose Phase One and you choose another program, then you make sure that you do your due diligence in asking all these questions on what are you doing to help me not get injured throughout our time training for 8 months. How are you helping me not get injured towards season? How are you helping me um, progress throughout this program for 8 months? So everything goes hand in hand here in Phase One. We call it the one-stop shop for athletes, and here's why. So we got your strength conditioning. I wouldn't say it's specific to wide receivers, but it is. And the reason why is because every athlete, especially football players, should be training about the same in the weight room. But there is a but. The ones aside, say quarterbacks, those will be a total different type of program because they need to be able to be balance because of imbalances built of throwing that football just with only their right arm or their left arm. A lot of imbalances are created. It's getting the right things strengthening so that they throw further and not get injured in their elbow, their shoulder, or anywhere else. So, with wide receivers, though, for example, in what we're doing here and what we're talking about right now, there are certain things that we have to throw in there. We have to sprinkle some things in that'll make our receivers a lot more durable on the field, a lot faster vertically, a lot faster laterally, and agility wise. So all of that comes into play big time in their strength conditioning. Here's what we have to understand is that you can't just go do, say, throwing around with some quarterbacks at some wide receiver training, quarterback training or whatnot for an hour or two or three times a week and expect to become the best receiver that you can be. Is that something better than nothing? Absolutely. But you got to ask yourself, what level am I trying to be at? Am I trying to be your average player that's just right off the bench? Or am I trying to be that elite football player that's going to be an all state or Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Hawaii? Or are you that athlete that wants to get to the next level? And what level would that be in college? Would it be a D1, D2, or D3? And quite honestly, we're very realistic here at Phase One on what levels that we think that you are at or what you can be, and how we're going to progress through time when you become a senior in high school to determine what level of play you will play. And even if you will even be a receiver, maybe you might be better at another position. And the cool part is we recognize these things for you to get to the next level. And that's the key. If you want to play college football, it's whatever it takes and where you should be to get to that level. So we sprinkle those things in, to make sure that you're on the field. You got gameplay. Everything translates to the field at the end of the day here at Phase One. It's not where you're doing weightlifting that doesn't translate to the field. All right? Meaning, we talked about this over the years where there's a period where you train like a power lifter. There's a period where we sprinkle in some bodybuilder stuff. But there's no way you can do that for the entire 8 months in the off season or in season and expect not to get injured or be the best athlete you can be. All right. So the program works like this. Mondays, we're focusing on your lower body. Tuesdays, we're focusing on your upper body. And we're talking about the focus of lower and upper body would be the strength wise. Again, we sprinkle in agility work and different things on those days. You're not just weightlifting at times. Wednesdays, we're totally focused on game speed, and this is where you're going to get the proper movements in your sprint, your mechanics, your agility, your change of direction, everything needed for a wide receiver to become better. Now, without all of that said, without the strength, without the speed, there's no way you can be the best receiver you can be. There's no way. You're going to run better routes. You're going to be faster. You're going to be more explosive. You're going to be quicker in your cuts. It's going to be harder to defend you and stop you, all right? So Thursday, we come back in and we're doing more functional strength that is more conducive to translating to the field. And then Fridays, we might determine to kick in some conditioning because a lot of times players don't get that conditioning they need to be ready for an entire game, all right? Next, on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, right after the strength training phase, we're going to go ahead and do our wide receiver skills training. And this is where we're going to correlate with the quarterbacks, where we're going to make sure we're getting the right hand-eye coordination drills, where we're learning how to break down your routes, how to break off your routes better. And for sure, the whole focus is, my motto is, touch it, you catch it. There's no excuse. All right. So this is what you need as a complete athlete, as a receiver, to be the best you can be. All right. Now, we have slot backs already also involved in wide receivers, but you got to look at whatever offense you're involved in. So if you're more of a slot back who runs the ball as well, then you might want to look into getting into Coach Jason's running back off-season program where he's doing both the strength, the same thing, but honing in on the running back skills training as well. He does catch the ball because running backs nowadays have to be more diverse. But if you are a true slot back that doesn't run the ball, meaning out of the backfield, then wide receiver is probably where you want to be. Um, but you can pick and choose running back or wide receiver. So I think that sums up majority of what we're doing here. But just know that it's safe, it's effective. You're going to get the best result. I can 100% say, I'm not even without a question going to say that's not the case. Here's the thing that you don't want to focus on. I say it every single year, and rather if athletes, parents, and coaches agree or disagree, I don't care because I know 100% what the deal is. So what you should not be doing is getting excited and ready for pylon football. That is not what you should be focused on as a tackle football player. The things that you get in pylon, number one, a lot of bad habits are created from knowing you're not going to get hit, where in your mind, now you're in the mind, you're kind of screwed because of that reason alone. You know you're not going to get hit, so you treat it differently. Defensive backs are more aggressive. In pylon football is not the same case as in tackle. You just don't get a real good look in regards to translating it to tackle is what I'm saying. So you cannot just do pylon. You shouldn't waste your time on all the practices leading into a pylon game, and here's why. College coaches don't give a crap about any of that. They cannot be at those games. They will not look at your film in regards to that. All these star rated companies who give 3-star, 4-star, 5 stars to players, you got to understand this. The ones who are getting 5 stars are going to get already getting big recruits. You got to go and do your background check. It's very easy to go look them up. All right. So for them to give them the 5-star, that's an automatic because they're getting recruited. That they don't even need the star to get recruited. Now the rest of them are made up, in my opinion. It's whatever that company chooses to give. I've seen athletes get a 3-star and they're not even on the field. They're second string players standing on the sideline. So do I trust those things? Absolutely not. Now, we have a get recruited program that we're going to launch here soon that's going to correlate. Like if you really want to get recruited, you need to focus on getting bigger, stronger, faster, being the best complete athlete you can be, not getting injured, and on top of that, being with the people, the trainers, the coaches. We all have experience here at Phase One Sports. We've been through the process in getting recruited, being there, coaching it, training it, the whole nine. I mean, it's a complete package for you to get to where you want to be. We're going to have seminars. We're going to have mindset trainings, workshops. We have that all planned out coming in for this entire off season. It's going to be amazing, guys. Give us a call if you have any more questions at 808-404-1007. Definitely look up our website at www.p1hawaii.com. Otherwise, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get more information as it comes. We're going to be dropping a video each week of each position on what they plan on doing in their off-season program. With that said, guys, you guys be blessed, stay safe, always give aloha. Peace.